So what's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. This is Glory Talks with Amber J, and I'm coming to you guys with another kingdom spouse, or let me say this, kingdom marriage word. It's kingdom marriage related because it's not necessarily about the other person. The Lord has been giving me a lot of words, and he's also been leading me to resurface a lot of words that I did want to, even almost 3 years ago. Even almost 3 years ago, to bring them back around, because a lot of those words that I previously delivered are actually right now words. And that's actually one of the words that I'm going to be delivering today is actually one of those messages that I delivered 1 or 2 years ago. But before I get into it, the Lord has been giving me a lot of words, a lot of revelation, some pertaining to the person, some pertaining to the person who's standing. If you're listening to this and you're a person who's standing, then this word may be for you. Take it up with the Lord. And as with every word of knowledge, prophetic word from the Lord, whatever you want to call it, however it is referenced, God's already been dealing with you about it. These words serve as confirmation. Okay. If you are connected to God, which you should be if you're listening to these messages, if you are connected to God, God's already been dealing with you about a lot of this stuff. This is just kind of like, okay, God, I get it. All right. Hands in the air. I hear you, Lord. As with these words are subject to be, right? But for this particular message, it actually piggybacks off of the message that I delivered the other day on July 22nd. Today's the 24th, 2025. On July 22nd, I delivered a message about and taking care of yourself and making sure that you're doing the inner healing and the inner work. And that's your responsibility to do while you're waiting. That's your responsibility to yourself. You know, a lot of times we get caught up in praying too much for the other person or worrying, hyper focusing on the other person. We neglect ourselves, and God don't want you to do that. And it's not just the surface level material restructuring that the Lord wants you to do for yourself. I'm not talking about just going to get your hair and nails done and all that stuff. That's the surface level. He's talking about the in-depth work. The more you see, here's the thing about it. If you're standing, that means you are closer to God than the person who's a prodigal, right? And you're praying on their behalf for what they can't see and what they don't know. That's done. Whoever this word is for, the Lord is not saying stop praying for them, but you don't have to hyper focus on it anymore. You sow the seed. God is going to do the watering and he's going to do the growing. Right. But that same in-depth knowledge that you had for that other person to see what was wrong with them, use that for yourself in this hour. That's what the Lord is saying. It's not the I'm sorry, that's my phone just went off. It's not necessarily just like I said, the material or the vanity of prioritizing yourself. Not just that, but just those inner wounds. You know, you have those issues, those things you haven't addressed, those things you swept under the rug about yourself. God is saying, take care of that now. And because you are closer to him, because you have easier access to him, it can be easily done. You get what I'm saying? So, or quickly done, right? So the Lord is saying, take care of yourself in this hour. And that was the video that I had delivered back on July 22nd, 2 days ago. And it stated before, the Lord had me go in and resurface old messages. And this is another one. The message that the Lord had me resurface, I was just going down my old content and it was just like, bam, it just stuck out to me. And I was like, wow, this is just like the message that I delivered. I just delivered because I was looking at my old messages the same day, July 22nd, that I delivered the other message, right? And so what made this a right now word is because back on July 22nd, whenever I delivered the other message about the baby and taking care of the baby, and while the baby was getting taken care of, the baby name changed. And that's how I knew it was a kingdom spouse message. And the Lord delivered it, revealed that to me as well. Well, that day I took a nap. I wasn't feeling so well. So I took a nap and I had a dream. And in this dream, I was dancing, but I wasn't dancing so good. I wasn't dancing as well. And then there was this guy, he was sitting in the corner. It was kind of like not in a dark room, but I would say like a cafe lit room. Maybe like a jazz lounge room. It was dim lighting. And there's this guy, he was sitting in the corner, he had a baseball cap on. And his head was down. I don't know why his head was down, as if he was in deep thought about something. And then he looked up at me. And when he looked up at me, I put on an amazing performance. I was dancing with like superhuman human strength. Like, I'm 37, I'm almost 38 years old, and my knees are 38. Okay. And so that's why I said it was like superhuman strength, because I know in real life, I can't do this type of stuff. But I was just dancing, and that was the end of the dream. And the revelation is behind this. The lights are coming on. It's not as dark as it used to be for your prodigal spouse, for your situation. The light, it is not, we're not walking in the fullness thereof, but things are starting to get revealed. Things are starting to come to the light. Things are starting to get better, right? That's what the dim light represented. Okay. They're not out of the darkness 100% just yet. If they were, they'd be with you, but they're getting there. Also, to confirm that aspect, the man who had his head down, he just popped his head up and he looked up at me. He's being awakened, child. He's being awakened. If this is for a lady, that man is being awakened. The lights are coming on. You know how they say the lights coming on, right? Figuratively speaking, the lights are coming on. It's starting to piece together, starting to make sense. But also at that moment, I began to dance. I danced. And that symbolizes putting on a performance, putting on your best performance, being the best version of yourself. See, I had this dream on July 22nd, 2025. And at the end of the dream, once the man was awakened, we were in a dim lit cafe style atmosphere. And once he was awakened, I began to dance. It was my turn to put on my best performance. And what makes this word so amazing, I hope that you guys are catching this. I hope this doesn't sound like it's just too much here, there, and everywhere. I'm trying to piece it together the best way I can. I delivered this word first. Let me go back. I had a dream February 5th. 2/5 of 2025 about a malnourished baby. And once I began to feed the baby, then the baby name changed. Go back to that video for the full disclosure of it. Up until recently, in July, the Lord had brought that dream back to me, and he gave me more revelation about behind it. Therefore, I dropped the word on July 22, 2025. Then that same day, the Lord gave me another dream about me dancing. Now, while he had given me this other dream about me dancing and about the man being awakened, he had already, this is how you know God don't exist in time. Oh my gosh, it's so amazing. He had already had me go back and resurface old words. And one particular word that stood out was a word that I delivered back on June 1st, 2023 about dancing. And it's about this very subject. Being the best version of yourself. So I'm going to stitch in the word that I delivered on June 1st, over 2 years ago, into this message. I'm also going to drop it in the description box below, but I think you should just let it just all tie in together. And whenever you see God does something repetitively, just like in the book of Genesis, when he told Joseph, what Joseph told Pharaoh, he said, the reason why you're seeing these dreams twice is because it has been confirmed with God and he's about to do it soon. It has been confirmed or established with God. It's a done deal with God, and he's about to do it soon. God is telling whoever, you don't have to do all this here. You know, like being a watchman on the gate about this situation no more. You sowed your seed. The prayers of a righteous man availeth much. Have confidence in that. The work is being done on that end, especially if the Lord has been telling you that the work is being done. Now put the finishing touches on yourself. Don't be like the prodigal brother who stayed. Yeah, he stayed with the father, but he was bitter that he stayed. Dress it up and participate in this party that's about to happen. Okay, so hold on tight. I'm about to stitch in this word, and here it goes. So what's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. This is Glory Talks with Amber J. I'm coming to you again with another still frame. But look here, you guys. I must love y'all because I am really tired. Okay, I am very tired. But I said I was going to deliver this video because this is something that the Lord had put up on my spirit a couple of days ago, and I said I was going to get it out. There were some things that happened, and I'm going to talk about that at another time. But definitely, I'm going to get back on the course that I started on. This is Kingdom Spouse related. And this is for someone, just to drive it home with you. This is for someone, you're on your Kingdom Spouse journey, right? And you have head dealings with your person. You know who they are, they know who you are, right? You've had a past together, you've had history together, you've been through the ups and downs, you've been through the roller coaster ride, you have been through being together, then being divinely separated. And this last separation is just kind of like a question mark. Like, so let me just say that, like, you are currently separated from this person right now, and you really don't know why, because you guys are starting to build things, right? And get to know each other. Remember, I stated in many of my videos, like, after a while, it comes from out of one realm and it starts to become into the physical realm, and that's where you were, and now you're just like, okay, we separated again. Why? What's this lesson, Lord? Like, again, like, how do I know where I am? How do I know if I'm close to the finish line? Because it's just kind of like red light, green light, like, you add another sense, you add another separation. You don't know why. Whoever this is for, and please take this one into prayer. All right. Because I want to say this as well. Any other time that you were in separation, you knew why. You knew God was dealing with you about something. You knew that God was trying to teach you something. You knew God was trying to teach that other person a lesson. You had insider knowledge of why you guys were being separated. And then also, you were being pruned at that time. God was growing you up. There was definitely some activity to let you know why you were being separated from your kingdom spouse. But this time you just don't know why. You just don't know why. And your hands are in the air, just kind of like, God, what's up, God? But as stated before, take every word into prayer. But for whoever this is for, the reason why you're in separation right now is for you. All of that warfare you were engaging in, all of that standing, the trials, all of that wore you out. Honestly, like, you're so tired of this whole kingdom spouse journey. On the outside looking in, you kind of look like it, and it's not like a physical look. It's just that you're not enthused anymore. You're not, you don't have that perk. You don't have that spark anymore. You're just kind of like, it's kind of like a person who's ran a race and they just like, give me my trophy, let's go. God doesn't want you like that. God wants you to finish this last part of your journey with a burst of energy. And as I was preparing this video, actually, as God was giving me this message, this song came to my spirit. I Hope You Dance by Leanne Womack. And I'm pretty sure you've heard it before. Please Go listen to the song, go listen to go read the lyrics. And there's a particular part in the song where she says, if you ever get the chance to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance. God is telling whoever this is for, I want you to dance. I don't want all of this years of waiting, fasting, praying, doing deliverance in this relationship, and you just sit it out at the end. God wants you to dance. So whoever this is for, the reason why you're in this last little separation is just to reset yourself. Have that same sense of zeal and zest and spark you had when you first started this journey. And if you don't think that something can be taken out of you, I'm gonna need you to refer back to the Bible and Jesus with the lady with the issue of blood. She touched the hem of his garment and virtue left him. Now, if virtue can leave Jesus, how much left you? How much spark, how much excitement? Some of you guys are running on empty. And in this final hour, God will fill you back up, but you gotta ask him for it. You gotta go to God and ask him to replenish you and to restore you. So when the chance comes, when the time comes for you to be reunited with your spouse, you will dance, and it will be the beautiful love story that God is writing for your life or has written for your life. So as stated before, whoever this is for, God is telling you, I hope you dance. It's time to dust off the war clothes and put on your victory robe, because now is the time.